One thing that always accompanied a covenant in the Old Testament was a sign of the covenant. God gives this to Noah when he gives Noah the rainbow after the flood. But what's interesting is the sign of the covenant that God gave was always something contrary to the promise that he had made. So for example, when God promised that he wouldn't flood the earth again, he gave a rainbow which would only show up after it rained or it looked like the earth was going to be flooded. When God promised to Abraham that he would make him a father of many nations, the sign of the covenant that he gave Abraham was you're going to have to circumcise yourself and your children so that every time you go to reproduce, you'll remember that you're only doing it by my strength. God will show you that even when the circumstances are against you in the natural, he'll always be faithful to his covenant. I'm Pastor Branson Villardo. I pray this video will be a blessing to you. In this version of the Bible in 5 minutes, I want to talk about the sign of the covenant. And I pray that if you haven't already, you would like this video and share it to help us get the word out, and subscribe to our channel for more great content just like this. Now, like I said in the intro, I want to discuss two different signs of the covenant that God gave. One sign of the covenant that God gave when he gave a covenant in the book of Genesis was with Noah. And it says this in Genesis chapter 9 and in verse 12. In Genesis 9 and verse 12, it says, "And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I will make between me and you and every living creature that is with you. For perpetual generations I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh." So right there, when God promised not to flood the earth, he gave a sign that would only show up when it rained. Similarly, when God makes a covenant with Abraham, his promise to Abraham is, I'm going to make of you who have no children, who currently has no children, a great nation. But in order to show the sign of my covenant, I want you to take a knife and I want you to cut and circumcise yourself, which obviously would be a painful process for him at that time, but it would also serve as a reminder to Abraham that every time he went to reproduce, he would be reminded of the fact that he was entirely dependent upon God to have children, to have offspring, and to become a great nation. And it became a sign for generations to come of the covenant and the promise that God had made to his people. Now, what's so cool is this, is that when Jesus died and was sacrificed for you and I, he gave us a token or a sign of the covenant. And the sign of the covenant that he gave us was in communion. He gave us bread and he gave us wine. And he showed us his body that was broken for us and his blood that was poured out for us. But what's the symbolism of that? The symbolism of that is that it was all for us. Not was it only for our good or for our benefit, but it was for us in the sense that it was on our behalf. And so then Jesus' blood was poured out. So every time you take of the cup, you should remember that Jesus' blood was poured out so your blood doesn't have to be poured out. Jesus' body was broken so that your body does not have to be broken. With every covenant that God gave throughout the Bible, he always gave a sign. He always gave some sort of symbol. And that symbol went right to the core of what that covenant was. A rainbow, because I'll never let it rain so much that it floods the whole earth. You'll circumcise yourself and every one of your offspring so that you always remember that you were childless, but I will give you the power to multiply and become many upon the earth. And Jesus, this bread and this cup as the sign of the covenant, that your blood doesn't have to be shed and your body doesn't have to be broken, because my body was broken for yours and my blood was shed in the place of yours. I pray this video has been a blessing to you. I pray it's been a great encouragement to you. I pray that it shows you the importance of the sign of the covenant and shows you the importance of communion. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video and share it to help us get the word out, and subscribe to our channel for more great content just like this. God bless you. We love you.